The Parasite of Mortrex is a unique Tyranid bioform, the result of a Norn queen's genetic experiments and tests to enhance its broods. Named after its most disturbing ability in the planet where it was first encountered, the Parasite of Mortrex is a bat-winged Tyranid creature evolved from Tyranid warrior stock. Next to its multiple claw appendages and fanged maw, the Parasite of Mortrex has a barbed tail tipped with a hollow tube, like a snake's fang, capable of implanting its still-living victims with Ripper parasite embryos. Within solar hours, or even after a duration as short as a few heartbeats, the Ripper parasites mature, and will devour the unwilling host from the inside out to fuel their accelerated growth. The Imperial Fortress world of Mortrex was one of the most heavily defended planets in Segmentum Ultima, a world where fortifications sprouted from every mountainside, and bastions punctuated the landscape. For solar days, when Hive Fleet Kraken attacked, this formidable defense held back the vicious hordes. However, during the 10th day of the invasion, the Imperial Guard forces defending Mortrex encountered a winged bioform they had never seen before. Without warning, the monster dove towards the human entrenchments, stabbing at the Imperial Guardsmen with lightning-quick strikes of its tail. The creature's victims were thus injected with Ripper parasites, many of which grew to maturity within a few heartbeats, devouring their hosts from the inside out. Amidst agonized death screams, a swarm of Rippers ruptured through cracked bones and torn flesh, as they emerged in a spray of blood. The few survivors told of the new Tyranid threat, a horrifying creature that implants organisms into his still-living prey. They called this creature the Parasite, and all knew that to face it was to risk the most horrific death imaginable. 2 weeks later, the planet of Mortrex was overrun by vast ravenous tides of Ripper swarms. All that remained was a single astropathic transmission that warned of the Parasite. Fortunately for the Imperium of Man, it has not been sighted since the battle on Mortrex. Like other Tyranid experimental bioforms, including the Red Terror or the Doom of Melanti, it remains to be seen whether that Hive-Fleeced Norn Queen will judge the bioform successful enough to warrant its genetic maturation and ultimate full production, or if it will remain an ultimately unfruitful genetic test bed, never to be produced again.
Hello and welcome to this video where we will be adding the deadly Xeno abomination, the Parasite of Mortrex, to our Games of 40k 2nd edition. The Parasite counts as an individual's choice in a Tyranid swarm. To begin, I based the Parasite's stat line on that of Tyranid warriors, adjusting it slightly to make it more unique. It has a movement of 16, flying in the same manner as gargoyles, a weapon skill of 6, ballistic skill 3, strength and toughness of 5, 3 wounds, initiative 6 and 3 attacks, with a leadership of 10. It comes with a basic 5+ save, and may take up to a single biomorph. Armed with its claws and the barbed ovipositor, its parasitic infection rule from 9th edition, seen here, was then reinterpreted to make it more 2nd edition flavored, deleting the irrelevant wordings, and recontextualizing them for 2nd edition. If it wins a combat, the Parasite of Mortrex may exchange its winning combat score for a single wound roll with the barbed ovipositor. Roll to wound and take any armor saves as normal. If it successfully wounds an enemy model, that model becomes infected with parasites. If it is a single wound model, it is considered a casualty but remains on the battlefield. If it has multiple wounds, it must pass a toughness test immediately and then at the start of each subsequent turn. If it succeeds, it fights as normal. If it fails, it is considered as a casualty as stated above. Should the model lose its last wound before the parasites take effect, then it is removed as a casualty as normal. At the start of the next compulsory moves phase, roll a d6 for any infected models, and consult the parasitic infection table. The table then gives 4 different outcomes, ranging from simply removing the model to generating as much as 2 Ripper swarms for the Tyranid player. The weapon itself only has a single chance to wound an enemy model it beats in combat, replacing all other hits. All hits may still be taken as normal if you prefer, and may be the better option, though not as fun. That concludes our brief look at the Parasite of Mortrex. As ever, the rules are not play tested, but are a good place to start. I'll include a link to the army list entry in the description below. You could choose to make the rules simpler if you so wish, but I like to keep mine in the spirit of 2nd edition as much as possible. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and comment for more 2nd edition content. Praise be the Norn Queen.